Hi there, this is Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. In a few videos ago, I showed you this book. This was for my purple collab. I need to zoom. There, that's better. That is hosted by Metal Scrap and Chick, who's Kim. And I made this birthday book. These are all pockets you can use for birthday cards. And I knew she would. My friend Robin, who's Robin's Nest of Crafts, said, I want a tutorial. So, okay, Robin, I'm making a tutorial for you, and it's going to be totally different. It's the same dimensions, but otherwise totally different. You guys have seen me many times make the book itself, so I'm not going to show you that part. Although for this one, there's something you got to do different in here, so I will show you that. There's 12 pages, and that makes the paper that you need 17 and a quarter inches long, and paper doesn't come that long, so you have to put two of them together. I made this part ahead of time because this part needs time to dry. And I will link below to the video that shows you how I make a spine. There's a couple of different times I've shown how to make the spine. But right now I have a couple of scraps that I'm going to show you. Where's my... I always think I'm so organized, and then I get started and I actually have a big mess. So this is how I draw out when I'm making a book. I determine how many pages I want, and I make all these little upside down V's with a space in between them all. The space in between them is how much space do I want between my pages. In this case, I wanted 1/4 of an inch. I don't think it needed to be a whole 1/4 of an inch, but that's what I did on the first book. So my spine hinges, they're not hinges, but these pieces, they're all 1/2 inch tall, so each one takes 1 inch of cardstock. And then I add up, so there's 13 right here of the 1/4 inches. There's 12 of the 1 inch, and then on each end I add an inch also. So I ended up with 13 at 1/4 inch plus 14 at 1 inch, which is 17 and 1/4. Well, 17 and 1/4 paper doesn't come that big. So I broke it down into 2 pieces, and one is, where's my pencil? Let's see. One is 8 inches and one's 9 1/4. When you add those two up together, you get 17 1/4. My book is 7 by 5.5 by 3 1/4. So I make my spines 1/2 inch smaller, so they're 6.5 inches. So that's what my little drawing looks like before I start cutting or scoring. So one of these is, this one's the 9 1/4, this one's the 8. And what I did was I just, when I am scoring, let me get my scoreboard and show you. You can work out all the dimensions and you might get lost. And I have them written down, and I'll put them down below for each of these pieces. But I know what I want to do, so I just know first I want 1 inch, and then I want 1/4 of an inch. Well, then my spine is 2 1/2 inch pieces, so I do 1 inch, and then I'm not looking at these for this is at 1 1/4. I'm looking at this is 1/4, and then I say 1/2, 1/2, 1/4, 1/2, 1/2, 1/4, and that way I don't make a mistake when I'm going through. If I try to just go by the measurements that I have written down, almost every time I can guarantee you I'm going to make a mistake. So this way works best for me. So I did both of these this way, both times starting with the end piece that is 1 inch and then 1/4 inch. And both times I ended with 1/2 inch. So then what I'm doing, so you don't need to add any extra, because what I did was flip this around. Both of these have this 1/2 inch piece that if I were folding it, it's going to be stuck together anyway. But instead, I just glue these two together, and that makes my, I don't think spine is the right term. I don't know the right term, but that makes my little wing that I need. And then all the rest of these, I put tear and tape behind them, and I glue them. I tape them together, and they end up looking like this. I don't really like the size of this book, but because it's so fat. But if it was full of cards, it wouldn't, you know, like this one, the way it closes. But if I fill it up with cards, then it would close better. So, the first thing I'm going to do right now, before I forget, because I always forget, I'm going to put my ribbon on. I just have a piece of red ribbon from my stash. The paper I'm using is, I don't know what it's called. It was the paper that goes with the Snailed It set that retired. I absolutely love that set, and I kept it, and I wish I could get more paper. I have a little bit left, and I want to make something for myself, but I'm not sure what. Because this book, I'm going to do something else with this book. But this was one of the pages, one of the papers. I think these mushrooms are really cute. So to put on the ribbon, that's not the one I want. I want this. I'm going to put just hopefully generally in the middle. Actually, oh, well, here's what I always do. Almost forgot. So in the middle of this, I'm going to mark 1/2 of 7 is 3.5, so I'm going to make a line right there. And that gives me a oh, sorry for the noise. That gives me a ballpark of where I'm putting my ribbon. So I'll put my tape right there. Right there. And right there. I don't need a lot of the tape because I'm going to layer cardstock on top of it. And that is going to hold it down. Sorry, I had a little brain cramp right there. I'm going to find the center of my ribbon, just right here, and I'm going to go like this. Only I want the other side. Oh, this side does, this ribbon doesn't matter. Sometimes it matters which side you have. And then I want to close the book to put it on this side, the sides, because, I mean the front and the back, because it's going to bend it around a little bit. Usually I make sure this matches, which it does. Okay. And then for my cover, I have these pieces. This is Bermuda Bay. I have these pieces that are Bermuda Bay and one of the patterns of paper. It's a very cute pattern. It looks like little postage stamps. These are six 4.5 by 6, and then the pattern paper is 5 3/4 by 4 1/4, and this is 6 by 2 1/4, and the pattern paper is 5 3/4 by 2. So I'm going to add these to the outside of my book. Just to get them out of the way because I have pieces everywhere. A lot of times I'll save this for last, and I will save the decorating part for last, but this gets these out of my way. And this time I made these smaller than I normally would. Normally I would leave just a tiny little border, but I really like this paper and it's not used anywhere else. So I want you to be able to see it. Turn this like this so I can center this. And then put this one on the back. A change I've made to my YouTube channel is I've started filming cross-stitch videos, and they call them floss tubes. So I wanted to let all my paper crafting viewers know that the floss tube videos will be clearly marked. That will be the title of the video. It'll say floss tube number, whatever. And all the rest of the videos will be all the other things I do, which is not just paper crafts, as you know. I do lots of different things. But all the rest of them will be in this kind of video. So there we go. There is the outside cover. Not all the way done, decorated yet, but now I want to show you how I made the pages. And I've already made all of them except one because I'm trying to save time in my videos. So the piece of paper, isn't this adorable? There's a die that will cut out this guy, and this is the stamp set, and these are the dies. So he'll cut out this guy on this page and then other things on different pages. This is 10.5 by 9 3/4, and I've scored it at 5 1/4, and I've scored it at 3. My practice is to fold into the score mark, which means I'm going to fold into the bump. So I flipped this over because I'm going to fold this in half this way, but then I'm going to fold this up. So I always want to fold into my mountain. This is the valley and this is the mountain. I'm always folding into the mountain. So to make the page, first I'm going to do this. And then, it doesn't matter, that's a little bit curled up because that's going to be glued into the book. And then I'm going to fold this up and fold this in half. And I'm going to score this. And there is my page. I want my little flaps to be closed, so I have tear and tape on here. Actually, this is not tear and tape. This is scrapbook.com version of it. It's double-sided tape. And then I'm going to do the same thing again. So now this is a pocket that's closed on this side, and this side's going to be in. The next thing I'm going to do for this is I stack stuff up here to show it, and then I bury it. So in addition to the Snailed It stamp set, I used the Stitched So Sweetly dies. I don't know if they're still current. I use these. This is all Stitched So Sweetly, but I use these frames. I used this stamps die set that is by Echo Park. And let's see if it says what it's called. I used to do a calendar class every year, and I made bunches of these calendars, and I wanted die cut months. So several years ago I was looking for die cut months, and this is what I found. This is cursive January to June. So I had to buy 2 different die sets to get the whole month. And I don't know where I got these because I bought several different kinds, several different styles. And I was on Amazon and scrapbook.com and hobbylobby.com, and I don't remember where I got them because I've had them for a while. So I used those, and you'll see that in a second. Don't put that on there. I used, on some of the pages, I'm using this picket fence, and I can't tell you where this is from. Didn't keep my thing. It could be from anywhere. You can see I have 3 different kinds, and they're all from different places. And that just says picket fence, so that didn't help me. And then I'm using this die right here, and this is from Tailored Expressions, and it's called Floral Eyelet Border Die. So it looks like this. So, this is Bermuda Bay. The January is cut out of Real Red, and then this is part of the designer paper. It's the same designer paper that I just put on the outside of the book. And then I'm going to put this right here. On the back side of this, this is going to be with February, and this is where I'm putting one of the picket fences. So I'm putting these elements on before I put the pages in, which it just makes it lots easier. They're not going to get in my way when I'm putting the pages in. And you'll see in a second how I just cut out this picket fence a little bit longer, because it seems like when I cut it, this is supposedly 5 1/4, but if I just cut the picket fence at 5 1/4 and went to put it on, it'd be a hair too short for some reason, or a hair too long. You never know. It's very difficult to tell. So I'm going to stick this in the middle, maybe down a little bit. So for this one, I lined up the end with this, and then I'm going to cut this off. Throw that away. So that is my January page. Semi-done. And then I'm going to show you how I put the pages in the book. First I'll show you the rest of the pages. So I've already made the rest of the pages, and this is what I have. And I'm trying to keep this flat. Like these would be cute if they were all popped up, but you're going to put cards in there, and it really needs to be kept flat, otherwise your book would get too fat really fast. I love this mushroom paper. It's a lot of fun. And this is the back. This is the cover. Where's the other cover piece? I should have another one. Here's my other one. So this is inside the front cover. In fact, I'm going to put these on right now, so I don't lose them again and not know where they are. So this is going to go right here. I should burnish this. And this one. And normally I would put some tear and tape on there, but I'm just gonna, in the interest of time, I'm just gonna put a bit of glue. I don't want it very wide. Glue takes longer to dry, but it definitely holds better than anything else you could ever use, because glue is bonding the fibers in the paper to each other. It's an amazing thing. So when I was picking my papers for this, I was looking for pages that because they're all directional on one side, I was looking for pages that when I fold them up, the direction doesn't matter on the other side, so it wouldn't look like it was upside down. there was one page that I really didn't have a choice, and I wanted to use the front really bad, so I did it anyway. This one with the hearts, because I wanted to use this. These little hearts are upside down, but they're really small, and it doesn't bother me. So hopefully it won't bother the person that's getting this book. So I'm going to put these inside the book so they're out of the way. That is like, I burnished that. It's not looking burnished. Interesting. I like this one too. With the little boxes, little packages. So the mushroom paper I used on the outside of the book is really the only pattern that you could not flip up. The pattern it has on the other side, just there's no way you could flip it up and not really be bothered that it was upside down. So that's why I chose to use it on the outside and nowhere else inside the book. And then, oh, see, I should have put my borders on before I did this. Too late now. Because these are both going to get this border, but that's why these I put them on and then cut them. So I'm going to see if I can cut this and go like this. See, this is what not to do. So you don't do it just like me. You see, yeah, you can see what I'm doing. And then this I need to cut kind of right there. Cool, got that. And this I just put little dots. You could put adhesive on the whole back if you want to. I could have die cut this on an adhesive sheet, but I always forget I have those. I like them, I like the way they work, but I always forget that I have them. So this one I'm going to cut right there. Actually a little more. And then, in theory, hoping it's not too short. Yep, it looks like it works. This book was actually, I mean, I am condensing the time for the video. I've already done a lot of the work, but it didn't take me very long to cut and score all the pages. And I've made so many books that making the cover itself is like nothing. It's really simple. I don't even have to think about it. Well, what I have to think about is how big I want it. These guys is what determines what the book is going to look like. I think I have one more I have to put on. Yep. So this is the back of December. And it needs its picket fence because it's colored, so I can put the picket fence on it. I don't know why I didn't do that last night when I was putting all this stuff together. Totally forgot. My husband's gone for the weekend, so I am home alone and loving it, and stayed up way too late last night because I was able to take a break and then get a second wind and came back to this for a little while when I should have been sleeping because my dog got me up at 5 o'clock this morning. So I'll probably have a nap in my future today. My husband's on a camping trip for the weekend, so although he didn't leave as early yesterday as he was planning to, which kind of, I thought it messed with my plans, but my plans ended up okay because I came back to this at 11 o'clock last night and to do the stuff I would have done earlier in the day. Okay, so I added my picket fence to that one. And now the task is to put the pages in. So I'm only going to show you 2. And then I'm going to do the rest off camera, because I have to hold the glue for a little bit. And I'm using glue to put these in. I'm going to lay that down. And what I'm going to do is glue this on here. And I don't want it all the way down in. I've said this before on other books that I've made, because then you have a hard time. Your pages will stick up. They won't lay down. I want to leave a tiny little border, like maybe a 1/16 of an inch border. Maybe an 1/8 of an inch. And the pages are deliberately longer than the spine piece itself. Don't you love? I think I've showed this before. Susan Tootsie Tucker made me this. Lay right side up. Glue topper stopper. It's just beautiful. I love how she colored all these elements herself in some way. They were all silver and she colored them, and it's beautiful. I love it. So I'm going to put glue. For this first part, I'm just going to glue down one part of it, because you got to hold the glue. If I was using the tear and tape or some other double-sided tape, it would stick instantly and I could move on to the next one. But it sometimes comes apart, and because it sticks instantly, you don't have any wiggle room, and I like the wiggle room. So I'm going to put this on here, center it. Make sure it's straight, and then get my glue, pushing it on the back and the front at the same time. And then, so when I did the other book, I did all the fronts, which gives the glue a little bit to set. And then I went back and did the backs. But I'm going to show you both sides of one. In the interest of time. So I'm going to put glue on here. And doing it this way, the bottom is going to be closed and the top is going to be open. And then I'm going to hold this up straight and turn my book around and make sure all of my glue adheres. And this is where I ended up holding it for a while. So I'm going to do one more on camera, then I'll go off camera and do the rest. I better turn this pile over, otherwise I'll put the pages in the wrong order. So here's my November. I'm putting glue on this one edge. One thing I didn't say, when you're using pattern paper, like I covered the outside of the book using pattern paper, dang it. Try not to use paper that's too thick, because if it's really thick, it's going to crack. And you don't want it to crack. That's a bummer when you go to all the trouble to make this project with this stunning paper and then it cracks. This paper was a nice weight. It's not too thin, but it's not so thick that it will crack. And if you do have paper that will crack, if you can score it before you use it, before you do anything with it, if you can score it where it's going to bend, it's less likely to crack. But the way that I make these books, I can't really score them because I kind of wrap it around. So, did I do that right? Oh, scared me. I just had this vision that I put the insides all in upside down, but the cover is still right side up, so I'm good. Okay, so that's 2 pages. I'm going to pause this video and finish putting in the rest, and then I will be back. Okay, I finished putting in all the pages, and I went ahead and embellished the book while I was at it. I have a Brother Scan and Cut, and it cuts out beautifully stuff like this, the things that there are not dies for. So I have a whole package that was inside my stamp set that I cut out previously of mushrooms and the snails. So I'll show you the inside, what I did. I just added mushrooms there, a snail here, mushrooms, a different snail, little mushroom there, mushrooms, mushrooms, a snail and a mushroom, little mushrooms, mushroom and a snail, a different mushroom, no, that's not a mushroom, a different snail. He's got a little backpack that's got letters in it. This one just has a letter on top. Let's see what the other one looks like. She's got them stacked on top also. Mushrooms. And then this one, this is one of the stamps, and this is a punch that coordinates. And then these guys over here. And then on the outside, I did this on my computer. I just did snail mail, and I chose this font because this A looks like a snail to me, and that font is called Harrington. It's one of my favorite fonts. Anyway, I use it for lots of things, but I thought it was perfect for this. And then I added the little snail and a little letter and some mushrooms here. And on the back, oh, I could put something there. On the back, I will put my little hand created by my stamp that I have. So here are the 2 books. This is a tutorial for making the book. This is what they look like from the top. Oh, I'm not done yet. Ha! I also made the pages to put in. This is 6 by 4.5, and then 5 3/4 by 4 1/4. I made these in Excel. They're 2 on a page. I'll leave my email down below, and if you would like that file, you can email me, and I will be happy to send it to you. It's in Excel. You can alter it however you want. I just alternated these to go the same way to kind of match. So hopefully that's going to fit in there. Let's see. Where's my bone folder? That was really tight. And that does not fit in there. That's interesting. It'll fit in here. So you can put stamps in that pocket. But the way what I meant for this was to, and I glued that down. I don't know what I did wrong, but you can still put the pocket somewhere else, so not a big deal. Not the pocket, the card somewhere else, so it's not a big deal. And each month is set up for the right number of months. February I put 29, so this is a perpetual calendar, so it needs to have the right number of days in the month. And February sometimes has 29. And then the back pocket, like I said in my video with the purple one, you can put stamps, your list, or whatever you want in here. There's a pocket here and here. And I can't get that under there. What the heck? There we go. I don't know what was up with that. I think a little piece of glue got in the way. And then I will show you that here's a card that I had in the other book. This is one of the cards I made in a video. The cards will fit in this pocket, or you can put them in here. So they'll fit either way. So here, this is the tutorial for my birthday book. The tutorial was requested maybe by someone else, but definitely by Robin's Nest of Crafts. So that's it for this tutorial. There was something else I wanted to say. I never write down notes, and I always should, but then when I do write down the notes, I don't always look at them. So please stay tuned for my next video, which is going to post right after this one, for it's a very special video, and you'll find out what I'm going to do with these two books. So please watch the next one, and thank you for watching this one, and I hope you have a wonderful day.